What is going on, everyone? So 11.2 finally out. Now I've jumped into the Tazavesh's version of Underpin with Ky'veza. Now you may remember her from the old Nera Palace back in season 1, and it is still a tricky fight. Even feels a little bit like Mythic. So jumping into the fight, obviously you can see straight away there is a lot to dodge on the ground first off. Now that is the first sort of main thing you're going to see. It is more or less a one-hit mechanic. The second one is the pull-in portals, which are very similar to the fight in the raid, where we're going to spread them out evenly into a triangle and avoid getting pulled in any one of them. After that, we're going to get these images that are going to dart towards you with this red line. You need to line of sight them with Ky'veza, so they need to go through her to mitigate the damage coming in. If they do hit you, it is a one-shot mechanic. However, if you have got a trinket that's got a shield absorb, so I've got one for 10.1 million, that will work, but remember it's on cooldown. And that is going to happen twice, so we're going to go through this phase twice, and we are going to get something very interesting coming up. Now, one thing that is worth noting, if you are using Bran and not another player, sometimes he will drop the portals down in a stupid position. He will also die to them quite frequently, that when the next phase comes in, it can be quite frustrating just because you've got to track where Ky'veza goes. Now, how are we going to do that? You can see it's building up to it now. She's got all these mirror images of herself. I'm going to put her to the north side of me, so top center, and then all I need to do is track her 8 times. That's 8 times. Once she settles, you're going to have a cast that's going to go off. You need to pick the right one. If you do not, it is a one-shot mechanic and you are dead. So every 2 full rotations, we're going to move into that. Now let's talk about damage. So when is the best time to try and pump out as much damage as possible? And it is about now. So once you've dropped the portal, this is when you can start doing your bloodlust, hit it with everything you've got, pop your trinkets, potions, all that sort of stuff. This is the best time to do it, but you need to pay attention because the images are going to pop, and if you do not line of sight her, you are dead, okay, depending on what sort of trinkets you've got or sort of barriers. And that is the fight. It is very simple. This is just the normal mode, obviously, so it's not too hard at the moment. Like I say, Bran can make this fight a little bit trickier than it needs to be, so just be aware of that. If you are tanking, I would recommend using Bran as a DPS. If you're a healer, obviously, yeah, DPS or tank, and if you're a DPS player, I would use him as a healer, albeit the melee damage you get from Ky'veza, just a normal melee damage, isn't too bad at all. You'd probably be better to just use a healer, because the damage you get from Bran isn't exactly amazing. But if you are a tank and you can self-sustain, then yeah, just use a DPS one, because it just speeds it up. It's an interesting fight. I'm glad to see a fight that's more sort of mechanic based, which is quite strange, especially doing it individually, because it will definitely sort of warm you up for the raid to come and sort of mechanics. So yeah, I've not completed hard mode yet, which I'm not going to do this week, and the reason is, when I completed this version of it, it's a normal version, I didn't get an achievement, didn't get anything. Now I think there is an achievement that comes with it, however I'm not sure if the achievement is actually active in this week, so I more or less wasted my time. The loot I got from this wasn't very good. It was just like valor stones and a few crests and stuff. So yeah, didn't really get anything out of doing this, just I guess I just got the fight down and now I can do it on normal no matter what. So yeah, definitely worth doing. And obviously, yeah, hopefully next week the achievement comes in and then we can look at hard mode. I will try and get a guide out for hard mode to help you out. But that is the fight. Just keep it simple. Watch out for Bran doing some mad stuff or dying. Keep track of her when she's doing her movement phase. Do a top-down view for that. It will help you. And when she's doing the image dart, or whatever you want to call that part, the images darting through her, just make sure you line of sight them with her. And also, if you can't do it, if you've run out of time and you're like, oh my god, just use some sort of shield absorb trinket, because it will actually keep you alive for that one hit. Other than that, the one thing that I did make a few mistakes on was actually the floor effect, the big floor effect that goes around. I got to like 8% and I kind of got a bit cocky and just started trying to pump out a load of damage and popping stuff, and I didn't pay attention to the floor. If you stop moving in this phase, if you just stop moving and go, oh, I'll be alright, yeah, you're going to probably die, okay? So just keep moving, just a little bit, little side steps here and there, and it will help. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with the rest of the fight so you can watch it and try and pick it up. Good luck with it. Let me know how you get on in the comments, and what do you think to 11.2's pre-release so far. I've enjoyed it, got my Reshirops, good to go for raiding. Speaking about that, the raid team, we are still prepping our mythic team. We're going into heroic next week, starting on heroic. As soon as we achieve AOTC, we are going to move into the mythic prog with a strong push for cutting edge before the end of the season, moving into midnight where we want to get cutting edge every tier. So if you are looking for a guild, let us know in the comments and we can sort that out. Anyway, have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video.
Either way, she's nae bragging anymore.